Welcome back to Take Action News, everybody. That is our Daniel Marin's theme music, and today, how it should be, the issue of nominations. Daniel, what do you have for us?
And I'm going to be talking about the issue of presidential nominations, and specifically nominations to the president's cabinet in the second term. And these are sometimes appointments that don't get a lot of scrutiny because they're obscure, right? I mean, who knows who the Undersecretary of the Interior for a certain kind of rock excavation is? I don't, but now I'm interested in it. No, I mean, look, I'm going to talk about 5 key positions, including one at the very end that's high profile, that I think that the president needs to make a decisive turn in a particular direction, not just to sort of show that his progressive base that he's serious, so that'd be nice. Not just to do the right thing, that would be nice too, but to also just project an image of strength as a president and decisiveness. Now, the first position that I'm going to talk about is a position that really the president at this point, it's very clear that it looks like he's going to replace the person in this position, but we don't yet know with whom, okay? And that is the Federal Housing Finance Agency. It is the federal government agency that was created to take over Fannie and Freddie when the bailout of those sort of backstop home mortgage agencies were created. These agencies that were created to to put mortgages on their balance sheets to allow banks to then create more affordable home mortgages for people that wouldn't necessarily otherwise qualify. Okay, that was a really long explanation. Maybe not that necessary. But the head of this agency has been this Bush appointee throughout the entire Obama term by the name of Ed DeMarco. And Ed DeMarco has come under furious criticism from all sides, really, including actually at this point the Secretary of the Treasury, Tim Geithner, for not taking more action to modify home mortgages. We have a huge problem in this country with something like 1 out of quarter homes underwater, 1 out of 10 in danger of foreclosure, major foreclosure crisis in this country, major home affordability crisis, and it's a huge drag on the economic recovery, and it still has been. Now, it's not to say that the home market is now finally starting to turn the corner after the largest housing slump since the Great Depression. Maybe it is, but how much better off could we be? How many lives could we save if we were willing to reduce principal that people owed on their mortgages, if we were willing to at least reduce the interest that they owed, instead of just foaming the runway, so to speak, for the banks, so that this foreclosure process could be prolonged, which is what DeMarco has done. And he's basically gone rogue on the administration after they've now at least the administration, which also dragged its feet on trying to modify mortgages, has now finally said, here, look, we commissioned a study of how this could be done. At the end of the day, it would net taxpayers money because it would improve the economy, and you're still not willing to do it because you think it would be a potential waste of taxpayers' money. That's outrageous. They're going to replace him, but again, the finance industry has a lot of influence in the Obama administration. We know that. We know that time and time again. We've seen that through their Treasury advisors, through their economic and financial advisors. We've seen that just through the Obama administration's concern for its campaign cash, for its perception. And there's going to be a drumbeat in the business press and CNBC and elsewhere that there's got to be a finance-friendly FHFA head. We need to stop that. We need to make sure it's someone who looks out for homeowners too. Same thing with the SEC. Okay, that's my number 2. Is the Securities Exchange Commission. Mary Shapiro announced that she was stepping down after 4 years. 4 years, not a single major case brought against a finance player due to fraud, like any kind of accounting fraud, any kind of fraud during leading to the financial crisis. Okay, we've seen a big insider trading case brought. Yeah, it's crazy, unbelievable, and we've seen a major insider trading case brought against Rajaratnam, but that does not necessarily have to do with the cases of fraud that led to our financial crisis, that led people to think, oh, everything's fine at Lehman Brothers until the very last minute, until it crashes. All experts believe that there was fraud, for instance, at Lehman Brothers, but no major cases have been brought. There was a case brought against Goldman Sachs that was then dropped. So what we need, and I'm saying it right here, is that one of the policemen of Wall Street, okay, that has proven himself effective, Neil Barofsky, who was the Special Inspector General of TARP, of the Troubled Asset Relief Program, and Matt Stoller has endorsed him and has a strong relationship with him on Salon. And you know Matt Stoller, he's no friend of the Obama administration or the banking industry. So if he's endorsed somebody, you know he's tough. I mean, he's persona non grata among the banking industry, but that's what they need. They need to take their damn medicine and stop being up to the same old tricks they've been up to, which is repackaging crap and selling it as if it were valuable. And,
I'm with you.
And that's never going to happen. Neil Barofsky is not going to get appointed. I mark my words, because Geithner hates him. They all hate him. And so what we need is if you're not going to appoint Neil Barofsky, you better appoint someone who's just as guns blazing as Neil Barofsky, and I nominate Elliot Spitzer of Current.
Wow!
And then I want David Shuster.
Wow!
And then I want David Shuster to take Elliot Spitzer's nighttime spot on that TV show. Okay,
man.
So my third appointment related to that is obviously Treasury Secretary.
Yeah.
Now, Treasury Secretary has been held by Tim Geithner for 4 years. He's been the only economic advisor of the Obama administration that's lasted all 4 years. And what we've seen is the people that were in favor of more aggressive stimulus have all been knocked out. I'm talking about Christy Romer. I'm talking about even Larry Summers, okay? And also all the people that were maybe a little bit in favor of getting tough on the banks and sort of saying, no, if you're going to get bailed out, you only get 60 or 50 cents on the dollar back that we're giving you, or you have to lend money if we're giving you money in these tough situations, or, well, we actually have to create a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that has teeth. No, instead we've had Tim Geithner. So I want someone that's better than that. But my only hope, I know that we're not going to get that, so my only hope is that maybe we get Jack Lew as the lesser of many evils instead of Ken Chenault, the CEO of American Express. I know he's just going to be another mouthpiece for CEO America. And the same thing with Erskine Bowles, that deficit hawk who's on the board of Morgan Stanley. We don't need just a Treasury Secretary that's just looking out for corporate America. My second to last one, this is a very important one, is the Commissioner of the Social Security Administration. It is a political appointment. It is largely symbolic and political, but is the person that advocates for the administration for funding and is the political and public face of the Social Security Administration. We've had, for the past 4 years, a Bush administration appointee, Michael Astrew. Michael Astrew has really not done enough to push back against the alarmism about the shortfall. I think he's actually echoed that alarmism. He hasn't used his perch to say, no, this program is sound. It's more sound than any government program out there because it's self-funded. And he hasn't done enough to advocate for instance, one of the things is that people below the age of 60 no longer get a notice showing them what their benefits would be. That was his decision. Yes, it costs money to do that, but it's one of the key tools in their toolbox to allow workers out there to know, no, you're going to get benefits no matter what. Even if there is a shortfall, you're still going to get 75% of your promised benefits. So, and I nominate, and the National Organization for Women and many other progressive groups are nominating Nancy J. Altman, my boss, the co-chair of the Strengthening Social Security Coalition and the co-chair of Social Security Works, because she's a veteran Social Security expert who has the program's interests at heart. This would show the Obama administration is serious about protecting and advocating for the program. And we're going to continue to push that. We're going to continue to push that in progressive circles.
30 seconds. What's your last nomination?
My last nomination is Mr. President, stand by Chuck Hagel, okay? He said some anti-gay things. You're nominating for DOD. It looks really weak if you pulled out Susan Rice or pressured her to pull out, and now you're going to pull back Chuck Hagel before you've even let him out there. He may have some tough words for Israel, but as Jeffrey Goldberg said in The Atlantic, if Israel doesn't clean up its act on the settlements, it's going to lead to self-destruction anyway. That's what a true friend of Israel would do. That's how it should be. Chuck Hagel for DOD.
Applause for Daniel Marans. Daniel, bravo on those nominations. Great segment, great work. You can follow Daniel Marans on Twitter at Daniel Marans. Also, Mitch Molaski, who's got the great sports show Sunday night, Jews and Sports. Mitch, that's going to be a great one. Thank you in advance for that. On behalf of Mitch Molaski, Daniel Marans, Cliff Schechter, Daniel Gilday, Alan Rosenblatt, Shane Farnan, Kimon Freeman, Alex Lawson, Charlie Mitchell, Ben Barnett, Keith Atkinson, and Pete Callahan. I'm David Shuster. Happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you right back here next weekend.